Welcome into Softball Talk Playoff Edition. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
The Mercy Jaguars have advanced to the state tournament for the second year in a row. 31-time district champion. I don't know what your regional championship count is at this point. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
But, Coach, congratulations. A 6-1 winner over Butler High School. Who came out and gave you somewhat of a game.
I did.
You know, you took your game plan for that game. For those people that didn't watch, they small balled the heck out of Bullitt East.
Yep.
And your game plan took a lot of that away.
It did. And, basically we worked on their small ball stuff for a couple of days, and to the point where, I pulled the girls in and I said, hey, I think we're overthinking this way too much. I said, how about this? Bottom line is, let's just keep them off the base.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And we did. Maya mixed her pitches up pretty good. We jammed the kids that we thought were their bunters. And they struggled and popped balls up.
Yeah. Shout out to Maya Merrill. Had a no-hitter going for a lot of the game, and then they do have some good hitters on that Butler team. A couple of them happened. Maya pitched a fantastic game.
She did.
From start to finish. Defense backed her up, Coach. No errors.
No errors.
Looked pretty solid. But, yeah, taking away the first bunt of the game, the way you brought the corners in, and we've heard from other people that really irritated their game plan for the day against you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jaguars advance 6-1 winner. I mean, you've been playing for it all year. That's why we do things like this. That's why we do podcasts and talk about it, is to get here. And when you start to make it a tradition, you start to do it, every year, it really goes to show the type of culture you've built over there.
Yeah. The girls, they've bought in, I put them through the ringer this year. The schedule wasn't light.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we went out and we battled. We put freshmen on the mound to pitch games. And these kids, I had young kids in the outfield.
Yeah.
They've grown.
Yeah, 3 newcomers in the outfield. One is a junior, but, I mean, not to put her out there, but the kid deserves it. She didn't even make the team of the school she went to the previous year.
Yeah.
And then 2 freshmen, your center fielder and left fielder. And then, you've got a lot of young kids in your infield.
Yes.
Take away Ava Reinhardt, the rest of your infield's all sophomores.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to be said about that, from, where you started to where you finished. And I want to say that too to all the travel ball coaches out there. Coach, even last year on your 16U team, you started slow and then you made a comeback. It's about that trajectory, right? And so parents out there that, if your team doesn't go and win a ring the first weekend, as long as you see the coaches coaching, which you should join that club because you see a good fit there and good coaches. As long as you see the coaches coaching, you see them on a trajectory of improvement, a lot of that stuff will work out, Coach.
100%.
Yeah. So, hey, congrats to you. Congrats to Mercy Academy. We'll talk more about it here in just a minute. I did want to talk about a big follower of ours now. Les over at Batrack.
Yeah, Les
has come to really follow the Jaguars.
Yep.
You believe in a product that he pushes a lot. Les has invented or branded this. I'd really, Coach, we've shown it in previous podcasts, but it attaches to your helmet. It looks like a Pinocchio nose that comes out of the back of your helmet, and it helps your batters keep that bat
in the right slot.
Yeah.
So, they set their bat there on the slot, and they know if they're dumping their barrel because it's going to pull that helmet.
Yeah.
Right? So they just work right through the zone. Okay. Yeah. And so, I use it in here. Les has become a big follower of ours. He watches our game changers. He loves our videos that we stream. He's reached out to me and said, dude, your all's videos are phenomenal.
They are.
Whoever's doing that for you all, it is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He said he showed it to his daughter and I guess the players there where he's from, and said everybody just raved about it.
Yeah.
And you know, he reaches out to me after every game. He sends me a text congratulating me, and I haven't never met the guy, but he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And hope to one day get to meet him.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Les. Shout out to Batrack. Listen, there's a lot of tools like you can use at home, and a lot of parents out there like me, Dan the Fan, that do not really understand where to go, like how to help your daughter when they can't get into a lesson or you're in between or whatever. This is a product that's foolproof,
Absolutely.
right? And especially if you're having trouble and you're dumping the barrel, and you know, Coach JB preaches it with his team. It's a very simple thing that even a person like me can get for my daughter, and then she can improve on that and work on that.
It easily attaches to any helmet.
Yes.
And then when you're done, you just pop it off.
Exactly.
Roll it up and put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a whole lot of room.
No need to buy another helmet,
No.
Coach. It attaches and detaches very easily.
Yep.
It's a cool product. So shout out to Les, and thanks for following us. And you know, hey, we're happy to have people follow us, see the girls. It's a really neat situation. All right, Coach, let's talk about the tournament. So
let's get in it.
First of all, we have a bone to pick. So we do like to cry. Now, I did talk to a parent or two that said, man, Dan, you know, Dan the Fan gets on there and you have something to whine about every week. Absolutely, I do. If you've met me in real life, I'm the biggest crybaby there is. So our grievance this week is, and Coach, you brought it up to me, so I'll let you kind of get it going, and then we can talk about it.
So the only thing that I have an issue with is the fact that they did the state draw for the tournament, and they sent that out last week. Okay, the problem I have with that is the team that we're going to face, Boyd County, finished up 2 days ago before our championship game. So they drove all the way to Louisville, sat in the front row at U of L, and watched us play.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this club.
Right.
So I try to go on Game Changer. I try to find video of them so that I could watch them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing out there.
Correct.
We have searched.
Yes.
But he had the opportunity to drive all the way here and not only watch us, but also watch Assumption.
Absolutely.
Who he could possibly meet.
Yes, he could. Very easily.
So he got to watch both teams and scout both teams. Now, I wish that we don't even start playing until Thursday, right?
Correct.
First day. Why not put that out after the last game is played?
Yes. Which is tonight, I believe, right?
Which is tonight.
Yeah. So our line of thinking is this, is, you know, why give the advantage to another school? Because we would have loved to have went and watched Boyd County tonight.
Absolutely.
You know, just like they came to saw us. And we would have done that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, if we would have had that opportunity, we would have seized that.
Absolutely.
That's good coaching.
Yeah.
That's caring about your program and your players. But why do we need to get the draw out before even any of the regional games are played?
Right.
Because does it create excitement? I don't know. I don't think it does, because you can go through and look at, you know, because, for example, Mercy's playing Region 16. I was not for sure who all was in Region 16.
Right.
So when the draw came out, we all looked, right, to see, to understand. But is it necessary for that to happen?
No.
No. So, yes, I think here's a change. And I think it's an easy change. I think the KHSAA waits until all the teams have finished. Or,
and then tonight, after the final game's over.
Correct.
You did exactly what you did.
Yes.
And you send it out through email to all the coaches and athletic directors, and here's the draw.
Yeah.
And now everybody looks and goes, oh, well, I got to play Boyd County.
Correct. Yes. So I think it's definitely a change that could happen. But I think it was a good idea on your part, because, Boyd County didn't bring just one person.
Oh, the whole coaching staff
Yeah,
came
and they were loud and proud in their
and decked
colors.
out in their colors.
Yeah,
Front
so there
row,
was there were no
front row.
bones about it who
No,
they were and who they were with.
yeah,
Um, so now it's our job for you, your job, to get a not behind the eight ball and now find what and where and when and what you can find out about them beyond just stats on Game Changer.
right. Because he had the opportunity to sit directly behind home plate
Mhm.
and watch my pitcher throw pitches,
Mm-hmm.
see her break,
Mm-hmm.
get out his little thing and find out how fast she's throwing.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got the opportunity to go back to school for the next 4 days and prepare for that.
Correct. And if he has a pitching machine, anything like yours, he knows, what her fastball speed
Mm-hmm.
is, and he can just set it and go.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of I don't know, qualms. I don't think it's. I think it could be approved upon. Maybe they didn't see it. Maybe they weren't thinking about that. But the draw did come out a week ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of these regional games, there is no rhyme or reason of when they're played
Right.
or times, or it's kind of all over the
Yeah.
place. So yeah, let's take a look at that KHSA. Let's just think about it and let us know, what is the reasoning behind maybe getting the bracket out so soon?
Right.
Could we wait a few more days?
Yeah.
All right, Coach, 7th region champion. I called it before it started. Now I did pick the Bulldogs, but let me just preface that by saying this. I said they were the hottest team in the 7th region. And let me tell you something. That team is on fire, the Assumption Rockets.
Yeah.
They are hitting the ball well. Lauren Satterley's throwing great in the circle. Didn't see any errors. They made it happen. They beat a very, very good male team.
They did.
And so they will play Highlands in the first round of the tournament. Highlands comes out of the 9th region. Assumption will not have any problem with them.
I don't think so.
No, I don't see it. I think their big matchup that they're pointing to is in the second round. They'll face a very good number 4 in the state Davies team.
Oh, yeah.
Davies County beat them earlier in the season 7-3. Now this was the second game or so of the season for them.
Yeah.
And a lot has changed.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these players have grown up. Some of your seniors to be, Satterley, Ice, Campusano, these girls they're going to be seniors. They have grown. It's been a season. And so I think Assumption rolls Highlands, slides into the second round, and has that rematch with Davies that I'm sure they're ready for.
Yeah. Davies is good.
Yeah, they're a good club.
They are very good. They've been there the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And they've been no slouch. I mean, I think last year they made it almost to the semifinals.
Okay.
Before they got put out. Matter of fact, I want to think Henderson County put them out, maybe.
Yeah.
Before they went and faced Ballard, or maybe Ballard put them out. One of them did, but they made it all the way there. I mean, they are no slouch. It's a good ball club. They are very well coached. They have a lot of power in that lineup, and it's going to be a dogfight for
them. Mercy, like we said, plays the 16th region champion Boyd County.
Yep.
Boyd knocked off Ashland in a big game, and Coach, I think it's going to be a great matchup for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I think just as much as it is winnable, you could have a tough one there. But I think as far as the matchup goes, I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
And then if we are lucky enough to get out of that first round, Coach, you play the winner of North Laurel and Letcher County Central.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't know a whole lot about those teams.
I don't either.
Hopefully, we have the opportunity to scramble and cram and get to watch them. But for all those watching, Assumption plays at 1 o'clock in Lexington at UAK softball field, and then Mercy plays at 5:30 that same afternoon. So back to back with a break in between.
Yeah, coming Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Coach, it's been a crazy season. It's been a long season. And like I said at the very beginning, it goes to show that a lot of these people out there that, when the going gets tough, right? That's not the time to walk away from your team, because there was a time this season when you were 500. You were 11
actually, I
11.
think I was below 500 once.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a snag, right? And you look back, and Mercy's last loss was against Boyle County, at Boyle
Yeah.
County, in a 2-1 extra innings. Coach, since then, I think you gave up 6 runs in the last 8 games.
Yeah.
Maya has really pitched well. Peyton has played fantastic from behind the plate.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great. I do want to pick on Coach, or not pick on Coach. I do want to talk about a play. We were playing North Bullitt. It was towards
Yeah.
the end of the game.
Yeah.
And I wish there was a way. I'm probably too lazy to clip it in here, but we're going to do our best to get it out. Actually, there was no video because we weren't filming that night because we thought we couldn't.
Right.
But there was a great play. And for coaches out there, it's okay. So Coach JB had a runner on second, and this girl was taking a big lead. Now you have a D1 catcher behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
You have Ava Reinhardt at shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
And so between these two, they communicate really well. Well, this runner on second base, and Coach, correct me if I get off base. The runner on second base was taking a heck of a lead.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: is that run didn't mean anything.
Correct.
Okay, the game was completely in hand.
Correct. It was 8-0.
So the runner gets on base, and she keeps jumping off like a huge lead. And my catcher, Peyton, keeps looking over at me, and I know what she wants. And she's getting aggravated.
Yeah.
She doesn't like people to do that on her.
Correct.
So, Maya pitches. It happens. She jumps off. Peyton looks at me. Maya pitches again. She jumps off. Finally, the third time, after Peyton staring me down, I called time.
Correct.
I walked out to the mound, and Peyton said, "She's aggravating me. I don't like people getting off base that far."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." I said, "Here's what we're going to do." I said, "Maya, throw the ball off the plate, a pitch out. As soon as you catch it, Peyton fire it to second base. Carly Shepard will be there."
Yeah.
I said, "Carly, you make sure you're at the bag and pick her off."
Correct.
And dude, it happened just like that and froze that kid.
She didn't know what to do.
Peyton fired that ball so fast, she froze.
It was a missile.
Yeah. So then she gets in a rundown. Of course, we get her out.
Yeah.
Now, is that, I had some people come up to me and say, "Why'd you do that? The game was in hand. There was no reason to do that." But listen, we're playing for a regional title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot on the line.
There is. And things like that is what keeps your team hyped.
That,
okay?
And not to switch gears, but we saw this weekend, even with your Mercy team, when there was a fly ball
Yeah.
that we missed.
Yeah.
The next pitch came back and the girl hits a double.
So I tell my kids that all the time. It never fails. Okay.
Yeah.
And you coaches out there know.
Yeah.
It never fails. Okay. A pop fly's hit, kid runs over. I guess, it was really close to the wall. So she backed off, ball drops.
Yeah.
Easy out.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy out.
I mean, she made a play on it. So a couple things. At U of L, it's like a 10-foot wall. It was padded, but it's a completely different dynamic than what we're a lot of times accustomed to.
Right.
Now, going forward, I'm sure she's going to check the walls and understand what her parameter will be going forward.
Yeah.
It was a great learning moment, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the same girl the next play ripped the double that you picked off.
Right.
That's how she got the second.
Yes.
Was because of it.
So, yes. So that play, we missed the pop fly.
Correct.
And it never fails.
Yeah.
The very next pitch, she drives it up the middle.
Correct.
Whatever.
Correct.
And I look at Larry and I'm like, it never fails.
Uh-huh.
Anytime we give them an extra out, it always bites us in the butt.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah.
So that's the other reason I picked her off is because I was not going to risk giving up a run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and
And letting them get on a roll.
This isn't regular season. This
No.
isn't, this is win or go home.
Yes.
The stakes are as high as they'll ever be.
Yeah.
And we're, like just like if you're playing golf, we're not here to lay up. We're going to do it all the way. And Coach, I know people respect you for it, and it needed to, Peyton needed to assert her authority too from behind the plate.
Yeah.
And
again, you do things like that, and that does nothing but pump your kids up and give them confidence to pull things off like that at a later time when it could be a crucial situation.
So, Coach, why I went with that is I wanted to explain to coaches out there, or parents like me that would help coach. That's a type of play you don't have to call from the dugout. It's okay to do what you did and call time.
Mm-hmm.
Walk out there, go through the scenarios. You're like basically drawing up a play.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with it, because let me tell you, she took as big of a lead the next time as she did prior.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the whole stadium knew what I was doing.
Everybody knew. Yeah.
Even the kids in the dugout was yelling, "Stay on the base."
Yeah.
Everybody knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. And I love the kid to death.
Yeah, great player. Good kid.
Her name is Amory Hammonds, Gator, from North Bullitt.
Mm-hmm.
Great kid, great family.
Mm-hmm.
But it just so happened that, the lead was a little too big.
Yeah, and she was trying to spark her team.
She was.
I mean, they needed it. They needed to come back.
Yeah.
They needed something big.
Absolutely.
And she was doing everything she could to bring them back.
And she pitched a great game.
She did. Again, and she always has a great game against us.
Yeah.
North Bullitt still has a thorn in your side.
Still a thorn in my side.
Yeah. So, all right, Mercy, let's just talk about the week ahead. So we're filming this on Sunday. They'll practice Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday looks wet.
Yeah.
So you'll come in here probably the top prospects and hit.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, caravan bus ride down to John Crop Field at the University of Kentucky, which is always, I don't want to take it for granted as a parent, but to make it, to be there, to be in that situation, it's pretty awesome.
Dude, it is.
Yeah.
And I had a dad in here tonight, and he asked me, he said, is playing at UOK different than playing at U of L? And I said, this is exactly what I told him. I said, 100% it is. And I said, because you're playing for a ring.
Yeah.
I said, but UOK's stadium is phenomenal. And the other thing about that is we played at U of L. This is another little thing that I want to talk about. We played at U of L, okay? And all these teams are playing at U of L all week long. You got the 7th region, the 6th region, and the 8th region, okay? U of L's coach was not there.
Correct.
But I'll bet you money when we play down at UOK, Coach Lawson will be sitting up there in the press box watching.
Guarantee it. And let me just say, even if she's not there to recruit, she is there for Kentucky softball.
Absolutely.
Just like the University of Louisville coach, you would hope to be there for Louisville softball.
Oh, yeah, just walk out there and
say hello.
Say hello to the kids.
Take 5 minutes.
Do you know what that would mean to a lot of those kids?
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. And I'm not trying to, to down the Louisville program. Okay. I'm just saying that would have went a long way with a lot of kids.
Yeah. Well, in a program that's struggling to even make the ACC tournament, listen, yes, Louisville is not Florida. It's not Texas, and it's not California. I get that. But let's talk about one of the best pitchers in your bullpen that's there. You've got a Ballard girl that's going there.
Yeah.
You never know what that pipeline is going to bring, right?
That's right.
And wouldn't you want to be like, Art over at Spalding that is there, that wants to be there, that, is the first one to say, Coach, great game, congratulations.
Sure did. Walk right up to the net.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'll see you there Thursday, Coach.
100%. And so that makes you say, that's a great, that's who I would want to play for.
Yeah,
I would want to play for someone like that. Take away all the D1, D2, D3, throw that out the window. Let's talk about people,
right,
right? Let's talk about people that care about the state of softball, not only in our city, but our state.
right.
And coach, I think you're right. I mean, and I think back and like, who was there? Did we see Bellarmine there? Did we see, I mean, there was some great players on the field.
There was some great plays
Yeah,
made on that field by some very, very talented kids.
yeah, yeah,
Art from Spalding got to see it.
absolutely. And I mean, I wonder, I wonder.
Well, we're not Vegas and we're not California.
Correct, correct. But let's also remember that there's only so much Vegas and California to go around.
That's right. When you got
And
teams like Oklahoma and Texas and them recruiting also.
yeah,
But listen, man, besides that, and I don't want to get on this rampage about this, but we have talented kids here
absolutely.
that can play at that. Listen, if you think Peyton Arnold can't with
Yeah,
her arm,
yeah.
look, I've seen D1 players out there on TV that don't have an
Hey,
arm like her.
ask Sean at Transy
Yeah.
what he thinks about Kentucky kids.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I know Art will attest to it
Yeah.
because he's got a whole flock of them there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about that, and I don't know, like why, what, when, why. There's just a lot there. But yeah, good point, Coach. Good point. All right, Mercy, 5:30 on Thursday. Coach, is it televised? I assume it's got to be on something,
It
right?
will be on the NFHS network.
Okay, so it'll be a pay to play. We'll make sure to put it out on our Facebook page. Hey, this will be back on Spotify. Check our Facebook. And thank you all so much for watching. To all the people that came up to me and family members of players, and thank you for talking so positive about. Listen, yes, we want to keep this positive, right? But at the same time, Coach and I, we want to make sure that we're telling the truth. We're telling the story of what is 6th and 7th region softball,
Right.
and we're also going to tell you the story of what's going to turn into the 6th and 7th region transfer portal.
Sure in the hell is.
Because I'm telling you, it's about to turn into the wild, wild west.
It is.
If you thought the college transfer portal was nuts,
keep your eye open for this year. Yeah.
Wait till you see what happens this off season and where kids land from one place to another. To the point, I don't even know if another school is going to have enough kids to field the team.
They may not.
So there is a lot to be said about that.
Yeah.
Do we want to touch on that next week, Coach?
Well, we
throw something out there if you want.
Yeah, we can. But I think at the end of the day, I don't know, man. So I guess here's my question about the transfer portal that's getting ready to happen in the 6th and 7th region.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because coaches are contacting players from other teams? Or is it because kids are unhappy where they're at?
Yeah.
Or is it both?
Yeah. And I could see it both ways. Yeah. I mean, I could see it both ways, as well as I could see it, the legalities of it all. Yeah. Is it a free-for-all?
Is it a free-for-all because everybody wants to use a JCPS busing thing?
Correct.
Does that open the door for it?
Correct.
Shouldn't.
Right.
But,
yeah, but what happens and who and what, and I don't know. I think that there's a lot of kids more than normal.
Wow. Yeah.
Transferring places.
Yeah.
Now I get, to a degree, a small percentage of that could be because of the busing, right?
Yeah.
But when your kid drives and has a car,
you got a good point there. How does that busing
affect, right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think it's something that we are going to watch. We're going to monitor. And hey, if they do transfer or kids move places, congratulations. Shout out to them. More power to them. We'll just see how the system handles it.
Yeah, and it's funny because apparently it's out there that this transfer portal is happening.
Yes.
Because I had someone in here just come right out and ask me today, "Are you getting any of these kids that are transferring?"
Correct.
Nope, not to my knowledge.
Correct.
I have spoke to no one that has told me they're transferring to Mercy or even came and talked to me about transferring to Mercy.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, I don't know. So it must be out there because they acted like it was like you say, a free for all.
Yes. I don't know. I think it's going to add some info or some things to the off season. I think it will shake up the preseason top 25.
Yeah.
I think maybe there could be some coaches leave and some vacancies that happen. I could very easily see that after some things I've read.
Oh yeah, dude. So yeah, yeah. I don't even know if we want to get into that, but
I don't want
what do they
to.
call it? Twitter or X?
Yeah,
X.
yeah,
Oh Lord, that blew up today.
correct.
I
Yeah,
had people calling me on the phone saying, "Have you looked on?" They kept calling it Twitter. Have you looked on Twitter, Twitter, Twitter? And I'm like, no. Like
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Oh my God, you got to see this. You got to see this. I mean, parents just ripping a certain coach out there,
yeah.
and you know, if he survives, I don't know how.
Well, we know one thing. He doesn't think your players have a very good approach at the plate.
No, he
So,
doesn't.
but hey, you're the one playing in June. So,
That's right.
um, anyways, at the end of the day, thank you all for watching Softball Talk. Thank you for supporting us. If you see us out, if you see us in Lexington this week, I'll be in the stands. Coach JB will be on the sidelines, but come say hello. Um, we really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Best of luck not only to our Mercy Jaguars that
Yeah.
are near and dear to our heart, but also the Assumption Rockets.
Yeah.
Um, that is a great group of ladies on that team.
A lot of good kids on there, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of really, really good kids,
yeah,
and a lot of them, some of them were in the Freedom organization.
absolutely.
Freedom girls, we're always going to root for those kids,
Yeah,
but again, you said it earlier, Lauren Satterley, she put it
yeah.
to the Bulldogs.
I mean that kid is just a player, just an all out player. That is one hell of a pitcher. I mean, she does a phenomenal job. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Jags. Super excited to go back to Lexington. If you've never been to the state tournament in Lexington, it is really, really awesome. They do a phenomenal job. And, hey, come out, support, wear your Columbia blue,
Yeah.
and go Jags. We will see you all next week on Softball Talk.
Yep.